Hello, everyone. I'm Jill from Wendy and one of the conference organizers. We're really excited about today's conversation, how to move forward and fast with virtual recruiting events. I'd like to introduce Annette DeHaven, VP of Marketing at Great People. She'll be moderating the talk. Also, make sure you ask any questions in the panel to the right. Just click on sessions. You can post them there and enjoy.
Thank you so much, Jill, and welcome everybody. First, we're really glad that you're here, and we're really glad to be here too, and hope that you're doing and feeling well today. As Jill mentioned, my name is Annette DeHaven, and I am the Vice President of Marketing for Great People. We are a talent platform for the enterprise, and our software supports customers all around the world. In more than 75 countries to be exact. And our platform does bring together a very powerful ATS and CRM career sites for today's world that guide visitors through an amazing AI-led talent journey and some very cool solutions that are natively built within our platform. And one of them is a free solution for virtual recruiting events, which is what really brought all of us together today for this session. My background, just a little bit on that. Prior to joining Great People, I spent more than 10 years in employer branding and recruitment marketing. I still consider myself a problem solver for talent acquisition, and it has been absolutely fantastic to see the Great People platform and this solution help our customers so much, particularly over the past several weeks. And this is one of their stories. So let's just get started. I'm very happy to introduce you to one of our great customers, and that is Megan Dean. Megan is the Director of Human Resources for Greystone Health, which is a premier owner-operator of skilled nursing facilities and home health agencies. Megan?
Hello, everyone.
And I have one other person here on screen and along with me, and that is Jenny Dang. She is my great colleague and customer success manager for Greystone. And prior to joining Great People, she was a recruiter as well.
Hi, everyone.
So I bet that many of you watching and learning today are either just starting to navigate your first steps into virtual recruiting, or you're starting to accelerate the pace of change because hiring demands and needs are just changing everything under the sun. And I think if there's one industry that's experienced that the most, it's probably healthcare. Am I right, Megan?
Annette, you're 100% correct. Just for a little background on Greystone Health, we have 27 facilities in the state of Florida and 13 across our Midwest division. We also have home health and private duty branches. And we offer services that reflect a full continuum of care for our patients. Everything that we do revolves around caring for others, including our 6,000 employees. And Greystone's culture motto is where people matter, and we want to attract people that want to work where people matter.
I really love that. And I want to start getting into your attraction strategy, which tees up the whole conversation. You were doing a lot of on-site open houses at Greystone properties, and this is something that is just not possible today. Am I correct?
Correct. In the past, we've done a lot on site because that's just what healthcare drives, especially for certain roles. But with COVID, we can't have visitors in our facility, and we can't have applicants walk in anymore either. So before that, we would send out job fair flyers, schedule the event, promote it on social media, invite candidates through text and email, pre-screen RSVPs, and really on a hope and a prayer, if they said they were coming, that they would actually show up. And right. Depending upon the location and the need, which is typically nursing roles, CNAs, LPNs, RNs, even directors of nursing, we would anticipate anywhere from a handful of people to, for a new facility opening, hundreds of people coming to an event.
Wow.
But one of the things we quickly learned, even though we rely heavily on text recruiting, which is very popular, it doesn't replace the face-to-face interactions. You still want to see people and meet them.
And I think, Jenny, that's where you came into the picture with Megan and Greystone. And I know you've personally helped dozens of organizations make a seamless switch from on-site events to virtual events, oftentimes when that was, again, a brand new experience for them. Can you share us just a quick overview of what the offering entails?
Yes, Annette, no problem. Be happy to. And I will actually try to be quick. We know how hard that is for me. So one of great people's most important values is to be supportive. So it's why we decided in March to offer our virtual event solution for free for 60 days with no obligation. And what I love about our solution is it does perfectly pair with all of our companies if they have an existing conferencing tool. So there's no need to pay for what you already have in place. We have worked hard to automate all of the registration components. So that comes with the confirmations that you've registered successfully, event reminders, follow-up messages after the event. And of course, we have worked very hard as a team to give our companies and folks like Megan's team sample things, right? So you've already got your sample forms, screening forms, access to a question library. And that really made it easy to get up and running. So as a result, our companies can hold their first event really quickly. And most importantly, because we made it easy, they're very comfortable using the tools. And our team knows that it's absolutely critical to adoption to make sure they can use everything. And it helps us be great together too.
Yeah, Jenny, yeah. I totally second that. I have been looking at a lot of new tech solutions lately, and I like when they're really highly intuitive. In today's conference, there's a lot of them out there, which I watched earlier, which Great People is. It's one of those intuitive platforms. I've actually looked at some software and thought to myself, where does my team even start with this? What do we do with this? It's great, but what do we do?
Yeah, Megan, I totally get it. Having been a recruiter before, I really understand, where you're coming from and where do we start? So I'm really proud of our Great People team because we pulled together a go live process that ensured our customers can be up and running in as little as 48 hours.
So Jenny, can we start bringing the Greystone story to life a little bit? Talk to me about what it was like working with them.
Yeah, of course. So I worked directly with Megan's team, supporting them as they created their first events. And my role initially was, click here, learn how to move throughout the system. And in just a short period of time, Greystone's team was able to use the existing samples, modify them to meet their own needs, and they were up and running.
Nice.
So, yeah, so although, they could use one template and our existing forms, they chose to take it one step further and created event-specific notifications for each of their facilities, and they created event-specific screening forms, again, with all of their own branding and verbiage, which was really great to see how fast her team was able to pick up on that. I will say that it was also great to, as they created those assessment forms, that they were able to actually add some additional knockout questions. And what that did is it saved some time so that her team could spend time where it mattered, right, with the qualified candidates.
Yeah.
So we saw their first events go live, and I was right there monitoring them, watching what was going on.
Because we're very excited when those first events go live. We love seeing everything from start to finish. The registrations coming in, the pre-screening working, everyone self-scheduling, and then of course all the way through to hire. We're looking at those metrics too. But let me circle back to you, Megan. I want to start asking you a bit about picking the right solution, because there are a lot out there and one might be right for you versus another. Can you give people some of your go-to advice on what you look at when you're thinking about a new piece of software? We talked about things being intuitive, but let's go a little deeper.
Yeah, actually, so great question. I think one of the ways to explain what our approach was is we already had a lot of tools already in our toolbox. We already had a video conferencing tool. We have an ATS. We reach out to talent via text and social media, but all of it felt like really piecemeal. So you're doing one and then you're doing another and trying to keep up with all of that. So we wanted it to feel very fluid when we picked a new tool. And honestly, it was very important when I started evaluating the tools that the solution be intuitive. So when the team jumped in and started using it, they could do it right away without much runway to do so. And I had to acknowledge that they already had certain tools that they were comfortable with. They were comfortable with the video conferencing tool. They were comfortable with our ATS. So really asking myself the questions, what was missing? What did my team need to be successful? And the answer really was we needed all of the automations that we use that are unique to hiring and the ability to not just capture candidates for a call, but to really unify our marketing recruiting campaign data to capture the right metrics on the candidates and each event's performance too. And this really was a manually intensive process for us. And so we wanted to reduce that time.
Absolutely. And that's what we're talking about today for this whole conference, and that's automations. But you mentioned something that I wanted to point back to, and that's automations that are unique to recruiting that your current tool couldn't solve for. Can you share with everyone, I think everyone listening today would be interested to know, what is maybe that one ultimate automation that you just love because it's a huge time saver, or you're getting feedback from your team? I can't believe I ever lived without this. I'd love to hear some more real world examples of what it's like for your team.
Sure. As Jenny alluded to earlier, my team really loves the screening and the knockout question. It allows them to ask some really important quick points for us to proceed with the candidate. And before we went virtual, we had to look through the resumes, do some pre-screening calls, and then set up face-to-face interviews or phone screens. And often this would involve members of our other parts of the organization, including our clinical teams. And right now with the COVID pandemic, our clinical team, their time is excruciatingly important, and they need to be focused every minute of the day on our residents and providing that valuable service. So knowing that we could ask some of those questions really quickly, get the answers, reduce them down, and get them talking to highly qualified candidates for those high value add conversations was really what was the most amazing thing.
That's great. And can I ask you one other question that just popped in too? What happens to the people that don't make the cut? What happens there?
So that's great. Actually, what happens is we take those candidates who don't move through and we can actually put them into our CRM or our Connect product. And we can fast track them for other qualifications in our talent pools. And if they ask the right questions and get the answers, typically we don't ask more than 5. So I don't want folks to think that this is a time intensive process. It's really not. It's a couple of key things that are important for us in long-term care. This triggers an automated and personalized email. The candidate can actually self-schedule their interview time based on availability. We'll look at it. It's real easy. They can pick times that work for their schedules, especially when you work in healthcare and you have evening and night shifts. Some folks are not available during the regular 8 to 5 business day. And it is really reduced the time to hire from over a week to we've made offers in the same day.
Amazing.
Wow, that's great, Megan. So glad to hear that.
So Jenny, are you hearing stories like this too, that people are able to dramatically improve their time to fill? What's the word on the street?
Yeah, Annette, that's a great question. And I am hearing a lot of different stories about what organizations are doing to work through this time. And, you know, as the customer success manager, I am working every day to make sure that we're setting up our TA teams for success by using our tool. They're focused on tools that they offer flexibility, but yet they're easy enough to get up and running quickly. And so we provide them with samples, and then they can build a robust process on their own. What I love about Megan's story and what her team at Greystone did is, they used those essential pre-screen questions, and they were very quickly able to see metrics, how many people came, who was hired, and really create a reusable and repeatable model.
Nice. And I think data is really key to moving onward and upward. You can't do that without the ROI measurement, all of that good stuff at your fingertips. Has that been the case for you, Megan?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We have easy access to reports with candidate flow and recruiting activity. We can see them. It's visual. It's at a glance. It shows us everything from where folks are entering, whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook, iSIMS, Twitter, all of those big recruiting modules or strategies that folks have been using and want to track the source. For example, we can see how many clicks we're getting on those social media posts, to how many registrations are coming through those social media posts, which track back to hires for us. And then we can actually see how many candidates have scheduled themselves. So we can reach out, we can do those reminders for folks that have clicked on it and registered but haven't scheduled an interview. We can do that follow-up, and it allows us to provide our hiring managers with an itinerary of interviews so they can see who they're interviewing, their resumes, their time slots. They have everything right there for them. And every time we use the product, our team is getting better and better with it. I can see what events have gained traction for us and what events need more boosting on social media. And more importantly, I think this is the most important thing for me, is I can position the resources of my team to be the most efficient and to make sure everybody has the best support possible to make the event good.
Mm-hmm. I love it. And, that's exactly why Great People's solution was built, to do all of that. And being very conscious of time and looking at the clock, I just want to turn it back over to you, Megan, just to share with everyone any closing thoughts.
Yeah. So Greystone, like many other organizations right now, they are experiencing increased costs. For us, it comes in terms of having the need for more PPE or personal protective equipment, having to pay higher wages, but also to doing a lot of the little things for our staff that mean so much. They're there, they're taking care of residents, they're protecting them. They are making sure that they have everything they need. So we want to make sure the staff has everything that they need, and being able to give them those high value things such as meals, activities, gift cards. So for me, it was really about wanting to find a solution that could make the most of the resources we had, but to partner with a vendor that had tremendous value add. And I think that's what we found in you guys.
Oh, thanks, Megan. That's so great to hear.
We're feeling the warm and fuzzies over here, and it's mutual. And we also thank you and your team, everyone at Greystone, for all the hard work that you do. It means a lot to so many people, your patients, their families, each other. So thank you first and foremost for that. And thank you to both Megan and Jenny for participating in this session with me today. I hope that everybody found some great information and inspiration within. And we're definitely going to be hanging out at the conference in the expo hall. Jill, do you want to take it from here?
Yeah, so I just wanted to jump in and let everybody know that the expo hall is going to be opening at 3 p.m. So very exciting. You can just click on the little expo icon to the left on the navigation to take you there. So you'll be able to speak directly to representatives from all these different companies that have been doing these great presentations today. And you'll be able to share your audio and video like we're doing now to actually have a one-on-one conversation, which is awesome. There will also be some very fun booths if you just want to take a break from conferences. There's a puppy cam, a relaxation room, and in the mood to be working out a little bit during the middle of the day. So all of that will be starting in just 10 minutes.
Excellent.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Well, thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.